Welcome to the Midnight Series, where we slip into our PJs and lean into the uncomfortable, one late night conversation at a time. Think of this as your late night sleepover with friends, the kind where conversation gets real after the lights go out. So slip into your PJs, grab your favorite beverage, and let's begin.
Okay, we are back. Hopefully we don't freeze and have a million tech issues. How are you? How are the kids? How's Tate? How's baby?
They're great. We're just kind of in those little, and I'm sure you are as well, the last few days of school.
Oh
The
my
countdown
gosh.
begins.
Yeah, and we're moving
for summer.
at the end of this month. So it is crazy.
Yeah. So end of May is the date. Okay.
I'm excited to just like get done with this house. Like everything is just
all the moving
awful.
stuff.
But I'm so blessed that we can move and we have stuff to move. But yeah, it's been crazy with like everything going on in addition to like just life and then the move and then the agency and my sister's getting married. So we've got her bridal shower, helping plan her bachelorette. One of my best friends is getting married, helping with her bridal shower and her bachelorette. Then Evan just went on a bachelor trip with his best friend from college. She's also getting married. And it's just like the craziest. Truly,
life is life.
Like, and then I were like going over the calendar.
Yeah.
He was like, "Can we like go spend a couple weeks out in Arizona with my grandparents?" And I was like, "I literally don't think we have like 2 weeks free." Yeah,
there
like,
are
like,
no couple weeks.
at the beginning of December. Like I don't know. And I was like, I basically have to take the full month of September off because that's when Mariana and Brooke's wedding is. Plus, so there's Labor Day, Mariana and Brooke. Really, it's like, actually, no, I'm trying to think. Do I have another wedding in there? Yeah, no, it's November. And then his cousin's getting married in California in November. And Maggie's just like eating her food.
Hey, Maggie.
We had to put her food up there because like the dog kept trying to get it. And then we had it in windowsill, this like window that's reflecting, and Forrest kept eating it. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Like
toddlers. Yeah. They're like,
he would literally
let me get into this.
Like, Forrest, no, and he would be like, I'm like, open your mouth, and he's like, and then he'd be like, no, and it would just all come out. I'm like, he has gone full blown toddler. Next time you see him, you are going to be, you're like, toddler, boy, got it. Like, jumping,
climbing
off,
everything,
pulling his sister down, pulling her hair, smacking her, like insane. In a great way, but it's just
just toddlers being
he is,
unhinged.
and he's really talking now, so he'll go no, or he'll be like ew. But it's so cute. Like whenever he gets surprised when he sees an airplane, he goes,
oh, I love that. That's so the cutest
Evan
thing
said
ever.
He took him to Target.
Oh.
And the guy was like, there's a deal on Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Like you got 2 for $9. And Evan was like, no, but did you hear that? Like we got a deal because he's like trying to teach her math or whatever. And she was just like, whatever. But then he's like, and then Forrest was like,
okay.
guy checking out, like started like belly laughing.
It's like 2 for $9. You're kidding.
It's so cute. Fun. But yeah, so we've just been rocking and rolling over here. How's Tate doing with speech?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's like really going through a developmental leap right now. Like he's just doing so many things. He's talking a lot more, like piecing sentences together, which is really hard for him. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy over here. It's again, I mean, like he's still in the full-blown talk. Well, you know, he like regressed so much around 2. So from like 2 to 4, he didn't really have that like phase, and he's really getting into the toddler phase now. Like pulling
Yep.
everything out of the drawers. He's really learning his autonomy, like his no's and his yeses, and when he's mad. And so I'm like, whoa, I haven't been used to
Yeah.
meltdowns in a long time. So I'm, right back in it.
You're like,
But at the same time, I'm like,
oh no,
yay,
no.
buddy, you
Oh my
go.
gosh. You really didn't want that. Like, I'm so proud of you for realizing.
Yeah, yeah, because it's
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
typical,
Oh, that's
So
good.
we're just,
You
yeah,
got it.
one
I was
day at
just
a
talking to
time.
Evan. I was like, oh, we need to go see them. I miss them. It's been forever. It's just been
I
so crazy.
know.
I know. I know.
Beach
I'll have to
trip.
look at our calendar too once we move. Um, and maybe we do. Yeah.
Yeah, get
But I would
settled
love
and
to
all
see you
that.
guys. Do a little beach trip.
Am I
Hmm.
frozen on your end?
But I thought it
Okay.
was just like right
How do I
here.
fix? So strange. I'm gonna give it a second and
Okay.
then I'll
You're
pop
good.
back on.
At
Oh
least
my
you're
gosh,
cute
it's still
frozen.
doing it. Okay, I'm gonna keep it off for a second.
Could have been like an ugly
I
frozen.
don't know about that.
Sorry, we like essentially just caught up.
Yeah. So yeah, how was New York? Let's talk about it. I haven't caught up
Yeah,
with
it
you
was so
since you
good.
went.
It was really good. I actually met Sally, who is my head BA. Um, and then she is also my partner in the community that we run together for service providers.
Yeah, Sally, yeah. I didn't know you
Not in
guys had never
person,
met
only
before.
online. Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Right,
I never
right.
met her in person. I never met Eliza in person, which is so funny because it's like if you're not in the online space, people like you don't realize how they're like, what? Like, how did you start a business with a person you never met in person? But you just spend so much time talking to them online that it's just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like when Evan and I had to date on Zoom before COVID. We like got date so
Right,
fast.
right.
And it's the
Yeah.
same thing with like team members, I think. Now, can you replicate an
Yeah.
in-person experience online? No, but you're like forced to get deeper because you don't have like you can't pick
Mm-hmm.
up on cues. You can't like, you know. And so yeah,
Yeah.
I just love
Yeah.
Sally. She's so sweet. She lives in Florida. So she flew in and it was so funny.
Okay.
I told Eliza, I was like, hey, because she's like, oh, are we gonna like have to put you up in a hotel? Oh my gosh, like I don't know if we have that in the budget. Let me like look and see. And I was like, no, I don't need to go to a hotel. I'll just stay with you. Like, what do you mean? And she was like, you want to stay with me? And I was like, I mean, yeah, like, aren't we friends? And she was like, yeah, we are. I mean, yes, you're my friend. And I was like, want me to? I can stay in a hotel, but like, why would we like spend another $1,000 in agency budget? Like, if I could, especially if we're going to be like up
Yeah.
working, like, we have to prep for all the shoots, we have to steam all the clothes, we have to do all the like. There's a lot we have to do, and I was like, how? And I won't have a
Mm-hmm.
car, so like, how would that, you know? And I
Yeah.
was like, is it okay if Sally comes? Because we needed to film. And she'd met Sally online some, but like never. She was like, yeah, okay, sure. And I didn't realize this, but she was so nervous about having people at her house. Like she doesn't let anybody stay at her house. And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
people are like
oh
that.
my God, I
They
totally
like their
invited myself.
space.
Oops. And so then I was like, I felt so bad. I don't know. I just totally like faux pas, like totally invited myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I think, but anyway, we got there and it ended up being the best thing ever because we got so close. Like we all got so close. Like even Sally, she really got to know Sally too. And she loved Sally. Like Sally's very dry
Yeah.
and very like to the close to the chest. Um, and then
Mm-hmm.
Eliza is like very outgoing and extroverted. And I think I'm kind of the opposite. We all just like balanced. It was so fun, truly so fun. And so, yeah, we had our shoot for the community, which was really great. So we got a bunch of photos and videos, and then I'm in the process of like getting edits back to our videographer right now, and they were so good. I'm so excited. And then we had our big brand shoot, which was exhausting. exhausting. I've never in my life done something at this level. Like, we literally worked, I think, from like I worked 6 to 6 for that shoot. And then we ended up, Sally and I had gotten tickets to go see Chicago with Whitney Lovett. Do you watch Secret Lives of Warren? Okay. So Whitney Lovett was on there. She's like a mom talker. And everyone's obsessed with her. I'm obsessed with her. She went on Dancing with the Stars, and I think that's when everybody really started to like see her character. And she's so talented, and so I really wanted to see her on Broadway. So we went to Chicago and saw it. But like after a 12-hour shoot day, we were like, oh my gosh, exhausted. My foot, I'm still like doctoring the blister. Like it ripped basically a hole in my foot that I had to walk around on the whole trip. Thank God I brought my ortho lights, which are like these like big old chunky speakers. And yeah, it's really good. I mean, there were obviously a couple things. Like I love the team; they're so sweet. It was just a lot of like things that I think triggered me in the past, like not really having control of the logistics, not understanding, like not being able to have control of the situation, like or know where I'm staying, or like who I like, what my place is, like where do I fit in, even like body image stuff came up because obviously it's a shoot and all the girls are like so TV, and a lot came up for me. And I really felt like I was telling Sally, could feel so much energy that I previously couldn't feel before I really started working on myself and like trying to tap into my intuition and my connection with God. And yeah, it was like so interesting to be able to pick up. I've always been intuitive and able to pick up on people's energy, but like something about that trip, it just like flipped the switch into overdrive, and I started being able to pick up people's energies of like people I didn't even know, just like walking by on the street. And it threw me for a loop because New York has a really weird energy, like very weird as a city. And I didn't expect that because the last time I had been there was college, and it was so much fun. Like I just loved it. But once we were done with the shoot and we went to our show, we went back to the hotel, and like we walked around, we shopped a little bit, but like the energy was just off for me. And so I was like, no, like I gotta go back. I gotta go back to the hotel. And I basically just, maybe part of it was I was tired, but the energy really was weird in the city. And so I was like, okay, so I just cocooned in my hotel, and I went to the spa all night. Not all night, but for a couple hours. And then they had a last minute massage opening on Saturday. So I went to the spa, sauna, cold plunged, hot plunged, the whole 9 yards. And then I went into my room, ordered room service, watched Real Housewives in Summer House, fell asleep, got up, had a full brunch spread, went and spa'd again, got a massage, and then I like left for the airport, and my flight ended up being, we had to actually deplane. So like we all got on the plane, and then there was an issue, there's like a mechanical failure, and so we all had to deplane, and I was like, ooh, this would have like really triggered me before. And everybody on the plane was like, oh, but I don't know, I think that trip just showed a lot of growth in myself, which I was really proud of.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the experience at the hotel, it's like, oh, I feel like every mom needs that. Just 24 hours away to like pamper themselves.
Caught up, and I'm like, I'm healed. Like this better. I'm done. Like I'm good. And did you see? Oh, you're not on social.
That's amazing.
My Aura ring was like a 90. My score. My sleep score.
I bet it was.
I was like, who knew that I just needed the spa and sleep alone.
Self-care day.
By myself in a hotel to get a 90 sleep score, which I've never done in my life.
You've heard it here first, folks. That's the cure right there.
So yeah, it was great. And
Oh my
yeah, the
gosh.
last part of it was like my fave because then I was like, this is amazing. Although then I felt really bad because Evan was kind of struggling back at home. But my mom came and helped him on like Tuesday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So he really only had the kids on Friday and Saturday. Um, I came home and he had told me it was like a rough day, but I came home, both kids were naked, coming down the steps. Evan was like so dramatic, like on the couch, just like, and there, like a mess. A bomb had gone off in this house. The dogs were barking. There's like food all over the floor with Cheerios everywhere. And I was like, he was like, I can't do it. Like, and I was like, oh my God. Okay. Like, don't let the baby down the steps. Okay. Like, I get you're tired, but like, come on. He was like, I just need a second. I'm like, okay, just like go take a second. I'll put them down to bed. And so I did bedtime with them, but I go into no Israel. Broken glass everywhere. Like broken glass, broken vases,
Oh
broken
my
like from
god.
she had like taken her shelf and like pulled everything off her like floating shelf. Because we have like a 6 foot long, 2 6 foot long shelves in there, and I had like cute little like picture glasses, picture frames and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
some vases for plants that were baked and gone. But she just went ape shit, and I guess she was like in
Yeah.
timeout, and I'm like, Evan, how did you not see that? Like, or hear it? But so,
Or hear it.
and so I thought he would. I was like, did you really? Because I was pissed because I was like, you just left that for me to clean up. Like, it's dangerous. What the heck? And so then he was like, so after I put them down, I cleaned it all, put them in the bath because they were also covered in chocolate. And Noah had like sticky stuff in her hair. I was like, what happened? Like, and then Noah had told me that she has poop all up her down her arm because she was wrestling with Dewey, and he blew out his diaper, and they wrestled and got poop all over each other. And instead of putting him in the bath, I then just wiped them down with wipes. Yeah, it was crazy. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even understand. But yeah, it was crazy coming home. I was like, and then Evan went on his trip, his bachelor trip not his own, but his friend, obviously his friend's trip. Because Noah
Right,
kept
right.
saying that Daddy's going on his bachelor trip. I was like, don't tell
Uh-huh.
people that, Noah. He's not going on a bachelor trip. It's his friend. And she's like, yeah, it's Uncle Travis. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's like his best friend from college. And yeah, I think he like needed that reset because he just had some time alone. He was like, oh my gosh, he like came back and he's like, I think it's something in this house. Like there's something in this house like that's just like maybe once we move I'll feel better. Like it's something about this house. And I'm like, no, I think it's like our responsibilities, our kids. Like
Evan,
it's
that's
our
kids. It's called overstimulation. It's called being touched out, and it's called being a
not
parent.
the house.
We all have it going on.
But it's so funny because he says things truly like I'm like, you need to start an Instagram or a TikTok for this because he's like, I can't handle these kids. Like these kids are like, he's like, they're out to get me. And I'm okay, if they're 1 in 3, then 1 in 3. Like, yes, in a way, yes,
Yeah,
because they want to get what they
yeah.
want. But like, he takes it so personally, and I mean, he is basically a full time stay at home dad right now. While before we move, once we move, we'll
Mhm.
be able to like. But it's just this weird in between because we're trying to figure out is he going to go all into Daily Dino and try to scale that up and do more speaking events, or is he going to go get some kind of like educator adjacent job and then do Daily Dino on the side? Like we still haven't really figured that
Yeah.
out. And so, but we can't make any decision until we move because obviously he would, if that happens, like he would need to be settled in Greensboro. And so um he's just in this limbo right now and it's so like he's struggling with it. But he says things just like he's like, what the heck? Like I don't understand, like why is this so hard? Like what all these things that like as a mom and as a like as a, I mean I nannied for 6 years before I had kids. it's kind of just like your, no,
Oh,
it's
sorry.
kind
I
of
was
just
saying something.
like, I don't know, we're just used to it. Like, it's just how kids are. But for some reason, it's,
Yeah. It makes you wonder if women really
I
are
know,
like wired
I wonder
differently to
that too.
handle the
I
stress of
think
it.
so.
I
Because,
would say yes, but
like, I don't know what it is. He like expects them to just get it and understand. And then if he like corrects them and they have like a good moment and it's good, then like they're gonna like now behave for now until eternity on that topic. And you know, they're kids. And so I'm always my go-to, which is probably not the best, but I'm like, okay, but like think about God. Like, what do we do with God? Like we do the same thing, right? None of us are perfect. And same
mm-hmm.
with our kids. Like they're gonna slip up, they're gonna forget, they're gonna make mistakes, like all of that. So I don't know.
Well, it's also too like their
He
brains aren't even fully
hate
developed
when I
yet.
say
They
that.
have no
I
they
don't
have
know
no
why it
like
like triggers him. I
why?
literally
It's
sent
so
him
true.
articles and like this should help you. Like they don't understand.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the hard truth mirror to that. His brain is fully developed and he's having a really hard time emotionally
Mhm.
regulating himself. Their brains are not fully developed. They cannot
And they're
emotionally regulate
mirroring
themselves.
his regulation.
So,
Mhm.
off of his nervous system. Yeah. And it's just a hard pill to swallow because it makes you feel like you're doing something wrong, but it's like for me once I kind of grasped that, it was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm I too
Yeah.
am having meltdowns and I'm validating myself in that when I can actually like I have a fully developed brain. I may not have
Mhm.
been taught the tools of how to do that, but I'm also an
You
adult.
can
I have
go
access
find
to
somebody who can teach you.
books and the internet. And yes, like they literally
No.
can't help themselves. Like they don't have that part of their brain developed. So, like, the way that they're responding to stuff is by mirroring your
Yes.
nervous
And so
system.
he's
Like,
always
that's
like,
like the
is it
only
me? Like, is
gauge
it
that
me
they
that's, and I'm like,
have.
no, it's not. It's not you, Evan. Like, that's not what it is. It's just the way that your energy, like, when you have this very, like, anxious energy and this very dysregulated state, they pick up on that. Like,
No, yeah, yeah. It's like you have to get to the point where you're like, and I had to do this too, where I'm like, I'm triggered because I don't know how to
or you
calm
don't have
myself
control of
down.
the situation and you can't
And,
see.
and two, I've always been, our generation, we've always been taught that emotions are
Mm-hmm.
bad when it's anger and sadness and frustration. And so I completely disassociate from those feelings because I'm too
Yeah.
uncomfortable to feel them. Because it made me feel like I was doing something wrong. Exactly like
Yeah.
Evan's question. Am I doing something wrong? Because that's what we've been taught to associate those feelings with,
Mm-hmm.
is that we've done something wrong. And it's like, no, actually, I'm a human being. There's a lot going on around me. I'm frustrated. I'm overstimulated. I'm angry. I don't feel
Mm-hmm.
heard. I'm touched out. And like, those are real feelings. Those are real signals from your brain, your environment, and from God,
Yeah.
in my opinion, from God, to step back and regulate yourself because like you cannot
I think he
parent
gets
in that state.
like when I say something like that, and I'm probably not the best at relaying it like in the way that you just said, but which I know I can work on. But I think he hears that and he's like, "Oh, so you just want me to ignore it or just pretend that it like it's not happening?" And I'm like, "No, I how."
No, that's like
Mhm.
that's disassociating. Like it's like no, actually you need to
Yeah, and like
pay
figure out
attention
what your
to it
triggers are.
and figure
When
out
I
a
told
way
him,
to
I was like, for
regulate
me,
yourself.
I
Yeah.
have to catch the train before it leaves the station. So if I sense myself like really starting to like slip and I'm feeling frustrated, I know what like I tense up. I get a little out of breath. I start just like having really
Mm-hmm.
crazy thoughts. And then I'm like, okay, I'm getting overstimulated. My patience is where I said, like, let me
Mm-hmm.
literally meditate for 30 seconds. And I actually saw something recently that the sales coach I follow does. And she said that she will take a step back, go to the bathroom, whatever, for 30 seconds and just close her eyes and really envision her future self with her boys. She has 3 boys, like her boys grown up and just like in really wonderful kids, like an amazing family, amazing relationship, amazing connection. And then she comes back and she goes into the kids and like stares into their soul, essentially. And she's like, we're going to get through this. What do you need? What do you need help with? And I'm like, okay. So I started
Yeah.
kind of doing that and I'm like, it really has changed the way so I take 30 seconds to regulate myself, to visualize my future, and then I'll go. And it's not always
Mm-hmm.
like the whole future, like in 10 years, but it might be like the kids calm, playing, all of that. It's all set. Like the doors are open, the air is flowing. I can hear the
Mm-hmm.
birds. There's silence with like sweet laughter. I know it's so silly, but then you go back and and it's just like, I don't know, it reset. You're regulated.
It calms you. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it's hard for people to
Yeah.
do that if they
I
haven't done regulation work, I guess, or nervous system work. So
yeah.
any tips for like how you got
Mm-hmm.
into that?
To be honest, I that has been
Mm-hmm.
a process for me
Yeah.
for years. And there's still a lot that there there's a lot that I'm still working on that I didn't even realize was there, like even within the past couple of weeks. You know, it's like you really think you've got it honed in and you're like, okay, I figured this part out. And then it's like the same metaphor I use all the time with the peeled onion. It's like you peel back a layer and
Mm-hmm.
then something else is there. So for me, I don't really have tips except for like
Yeah.
it's good to pay attention to what your body and your brain is telling you, even when it's uncomfortable and you don't really know what to do. I've also had to lean
Mm-hmm.
heavily on Ross and vice versa. We really lean into like the tap
Yeah.
out method where it's like we both are like watching one or the other like really start to get overstimulated and worked up and and you know
It'll
like
take a
hey
second.
go
Yeah.
outside go do what you need to do just go take a second and I've got this and you know I had to do that a couple weeks ago where Phoebe was sick and she was
Oh,
up 3 nights in a row. And the third night, I was like, I cannot do it. Like, I'm going to freak out. I'm so tired. I've been taking care of a sick baby all day and not sleeping through the night. Obviously, there's worse problems,
doesn't that
of course,
change
but
your
like,
physical needs?
I was maxed out. And yes. And Ross could hear me from upstairs trying to talk her down, but like could hear it in my voice that I was like, I was tapped out. And he came upstairs and he just like, I was like, I need a minute. And I walked out and he's like, you take a minute, but just like,
Mm-hmm.
you need to lay down too, you know, and like get ready to go to sleep tonight because you girls are sleeping. And so he, he just turned all the lights off and was like rubbing Phoebe's back and rubbing my leg and it's like I didn't even have the capacity to that's all she needed was a parent that could just rub her back and get her settled back to bed and just keep the energy calm and I couldn't do that. I was too tapped out, but he was like, you know, you needed that too. And then in ways that it shows up vice versa is like I can tell the second he walks through the
Yeah.
door if he's had a hard day. Like I can just feel his energy. I can see it on his face. And Ross is really catered to coming home and being a dad, even
Mm-hmm.
if it's been a bad day. Like he wants that time with his kids. He's like, I just they make me feel better. But then again, it's like, you know, if he's
Yeah.
already overstimulated and overwhelmed from work and the kids are like on one, it's like he doesn't have the
Yeah.
capacity, you know? And so I try not to be that partner that's like, I don't really care what day you've
Yeah.
had. I've been home with the kids all day and I'm done. It's your turn. Like, tap out. So
Where
again,
I'm like, I
there
need
may be some
help.
days where I'm like that, where I'm like, I can't. I'm equally
Yeah.
on the tapped out level, but a lot of the times I'm like, just why don't like
Yeah.
let's just all go outside and
Feel
you
the
take a
sun.
minute and like
Yeah.
the kids run around in the yard. Yeah, yeah. And so that's really worked for us, except for the rare moments that we're both there. You know, we're both like
I will say,
we're
Evan
gonna
and I are pretty good at
scream.
that too. Like, he is very good at, even though he's been with the kids most of the time, like, he won't ever be like, I need you to take that. Like, he's very, very good about, but the
Yeah,
same thing, I
yeah,
can
yeah.
tell when he's like, "Ooh," like, he's like, I'm like, go take a
Yeah,
shower. Or let's
tapped
go. We
out.
ate dinner on our little deck the other day. I was like, let's just go eat dinner outside. Like, let's go do
Mm-hmm.
these things. And it's helpful. It's just so hard because it's like, I think a lot of people, and I see it with Evan right now, he's just so out of alignment with like what he wants to do.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and
Life.
he
Yeah.
loves his kids. He's such a good dad. And he like feels like he can't show up and be
Mm-hmm.
a good dad because he is like with them 24/7 and he's so dysregulated essentially. And he just needs a second. But
Mm-hmm.
also he feels like he's not, like, he wants to be able to work, he wants to be able to do, but like we with the move and just financially right now it doesn't, like we don't have it until we go to Greensboro.
Yeah.
And so I think he just feels stuck, and I think that's where a lot of feelings come from, right?
Yeah,
Like,
of
a
course.
lot of people have those feelings, and like stay-at-home moms that are dysregulated, and like it probably comes from feeling stuck and out of
Mm-hmm.
control. And like, there's a service system coach that I started following. I haven't like actually worked with her, but her name's Emily Giudice, and she's this, like, it's for high
Mm-hmm.
performing women in business, but I actually think it's really great for anyone, especially moms, because being a CEO of a
Yeah.
household and just running a house, it is like an insane job, plus kids
Mm-hmm.
on top of that. It's just insane. So she's helped me, like, just taking some of her challenges and her workshops and things like that has helped me tremendously, or tremendously, tremendously. And I think with Ev, like, he'll have to, like, I can send him all the resources in the world, but until he decides, like, yep,
Mm-hmm.
I
Till
need
it
something's got to change, I
clicks.
got to regulate myself, then that's on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's harder for men too
Yeah.
because
Like, he
there's
thinks
such a
it makes him
stigma
weak,
there.
which is
You
so
know?
silly. Because he's
Yeah.
like, well, I should be able to handle this. Why can't I handle this? And I'm like, because it's hard. It's really hard.
Because it's, yeah. I know. I know. Because people, like, until they're fully in it, they have this conception about, like, what
Yeah.
being a stay at home parent is. And a lot of people,
Chilling
like,
on the couch
visualize
all
that
day.
as a, yeah. And my sister, I love how my sister puts it because
Mm-hmm.
she works full time, runs a insurance agency and has two kids and her husband's in the military. So she's solo parenting a lot of the time. And so she always says it like the other day I don't even remember what the conversation was, but I just remember her response being like, how dare you try to take a break from your 24/7 job? And I'm like, no, you're
That's
so
actually what
right.
Evan said
You're
the other
so right.
day.
It's like, it's
Evan said
so
that too. He's like, I can't
validating.
clock out of
Because
this.
like you
I wake up
you
and
don't.
it's
You
there.
don't. When I tell you I have so much compassion and empathy for Evan and how
I
much I
know.
see him and I feel him and I know exactly how he feels. But there's also the other side of me that's like, this is so
Yes.
freaking validating. I can't
It
even
should be,
like,
because it's so,
like
I did it for like the in between of maybe the end of last summer and then probably to like December. I was doing that and also working, and it was just not, like, it was insane. It was not working. Like, I was losing it. And
mm-hmm,
even when I was on maternity leave, like, I was the full time, caregiver. I was more of the stay at home mom, and I
Right.
was struggling, and then, but you think it's you. Like, am I just struggling with this? Like, is this really this hard? Like,
Yeah.
what? But then, yeah, to see him go through it, it's like, oh gosh, I know. But then it is so validating because you're like, can you go tell everybody else who still thinks that like raising kids is
Yeah.
easy? Yeah.
Easy. And well, and it's wild too because I don't think it'll ever be easy. I think if it's easy for you, then
Probably
there's
some
probably something
self-reflection
wrong going
that
on
you
there.
need
You know what
to
I
have.
mean? Yeah. Like
But it can be,
that
I guess it
I don't
depends on your
know.
definition
I
of
have
easy. Easy as in the sense of like it
right,
flows, you
sure.
have a good crew, you love your kids, sure. But easy in the sense
Yeah.
of like, oh, it's never hard. I never do anything. Like, I just let it go crazy. Yeah.
Right. Parenting is a
I think it might be an
breeze.
issue
Yeah.
there.
It's like, yeah, yeah, exactly. But too, I feel like we're in this interesting, and I do try to ask, people outside of the millennial generation of how parenting was for them. And it seems very common for people to be overwhelmed. But I find it really interesting for our generation of a lot of us were raised and not taught how to regulate our nervous system or to feel our emotions. And I don't think our parents were either. So we have that in common. But we also are in such a strange time of like social
Yeah.
media presence and like our calendars being so full and this event and that event and this is going on and that is going on, and so like that to me adds to the
Oh, for
stress and the
sure.
overstimulation, where I wonder if we're just in this interesting stage in life where it's kind of like you can't escape the
Mm-hmm.
overstimulation anywhere you go. Whereas, like, when we were growing up, you didn't have
Mm-hmm.
the internet to worry about, or social
Well,
media to
just,
worry
there
about,
weren't
or
that
this event to
many
keep up with, or that
like
event to, you
weddings.
could
There weren't
turn it
that many
off.
trips. There weren't that many
Mm,
things that
right.
you needed to do. And part of me, it's like this. I always laugh because like half of me is like, I want to be a boss babe. I want to grow this agency, and the other half is like, I literally want to move onto a homestead in the middle of nowhere and raise chickens.
Same. No, like and it cracks me up because there's so many of us women, and it's funny because Dara and I had this conversation yesterday of like we should get a
I'm in.
bunch of land. She's like, yeah, yeah, that you're like, say less. She's like, I don't want to look at my
Right?
phone for a full day. I don't want anyone to have I don't want to be in contact with anyone. I want
Yes,
quiet. I want to wake up to cows
we can
and
have a
like
landline if we
no
really need
noise.
it,
And I'm
or a
like
sat
me
phone.
too. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm like me too. But it makes me wonder like what is it going on right now? Our generation like
Yeah.
motherhood stage where it's just so chaotic and noisy and busy. And then on top of that, it's like we don't even know how to regulate ourselves. And it's just chaos. But I think the people paying attention and doing the good work is going to be good for our kids, because I feel like I can imagine it's only going to get
If
noisier
we
and
let
more
it.
chaotic as
Maybe we have to
we go
actively
on.
fight
But
against it.
it yeah, it's
Mhm.
our version of resistance for sure. But it's funny you mentioned it because like the last couple of weeks have been really, not this week, but maybe like the 2 weeks before that have been the energy,
Yeah.
like you were saying, it felt so chaotic. And so my sister and I were on the phone and she was telling me something that her son Evan did, and we were just like venting about like the kids being unhinged, and I was like, "Is there a full moon?" And she immediately cuts me off. She's like, "It's May 1st. I've already looked it up." And I'm like, "Okay, but do you think?" Because this was 2 weeks ago, so we weren't there yet. And I'm like, "Okay, but do you think like the full moon PMS is like us?" And she's like, "Do you think the full moon has a luteal phase or luteal? I don't even know how you say it." I'm like. She's like, because that's
So
what this feels
honestly,
like.
the energy, like there have literally been like energy spikes out the wazoo. It's called a Schumann resonance.
Yeah.
The Schumann resonance. I've been kind of following that. I got a frequency machine of like grounding energy to have in my room. So I think it's helped. Could be a placebo, but
Yeah.
um,
Hey,
it still works
whatever does the
regardless.
trick.
So um, I think
Yeah.
because I did the same thing, I like went down the rabbit hole with energy, and I was like, oh, this is what it is. So like astrologically with the moon, the stars, it's just insane right now, just insane.
Yeah. Well, MP said there were like 6 or 7 planets
Mm-hmm.
in Aries. I have no idea what that means, but I was like,
It
I
is
don't know
a
what that means, but like, I
really
feel a
intense
little
season for
validated.
Aries, which is probably why Evan's just playing the.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because my sister's is an Aries.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Evan is too, right? Yeah. Phoebe. MP is like, it's funny, but I've felt it too, but yeah, it's so strange. I have this really interesting thing happen to me, and you've even mentioned it before too, where I like I think it's part ADHD, just part like who I am as a person, but I get really tapped into, I guess, my intuition and the Holy Spirit like communicating with each other. And I'll have these like random light bulb moments, and it's where, I have these thoughts that come up and
Yeah,
I put them in
yeah.
my notes app. Like my notes app is insane with the things. Anyways, so I had this moment of like what we were talking about.
Us.
And yes,
Mm-hmm.
kind of just like overstimulation, learning to feel your emotions, like paying attention to what you're paying attention to, even if it's subconscious. And I was like, I had this weird light bulb moment about all of that. And then I was like, I wonder if people truly are taking their lived experiences as a human being and making like this, basically like their lived experiences is how they're going to experience God. It's how they're going to like filter him. It's how they're going to see him and view him. It's all based off their lived experiences, their triggers, and their traumas. And like maybe some bad ideology that's been preached to them along the way too, because I've experienced that. And this is like dinner conversation for Ross and
Like,
I, and
sure,
he's like,
babe.
yeah. Like, are we all just like
Yes.
biased in our opinion
Yeah.
of who God is? And like nobody really even fully knows. And so this is where I bring you up, because I'm like, this strange thing is I will have these moments and then somehow a book finds me to explain. Because remember, you're like, how are you always reading a book before we start talking about
Literally,
this
yes.
specific?
Are you reading
I
a
know,
book
I
on
don't know why it happens to me,
overstimulation
but
and
this
like
happened
connection
to
of the
me.
spirit?
Okay, no, so this happened to me the past couple of weeks. I had that whole revelation, and then this book, Anatomy of the Soul, finds me, and it's by Dr. Curt Thompson. He's a psychiatrist, and
Anatomy of the
I'm
soul, is it
only
totally
like
different than anatomy of the spirit?
maybe 60. Well, yeah, because it's more like learning your brain, learning your nervous system, and
Well,
how
yeah, I
like
think
it
your spirit and
connects
your
to
soul are
God.
different,
Um,
which that's another rabbit hole. But
yeah, exactly. And so it's basically like how the neuroscience and like the spiritual practices can intertwine with
yes.
each other, and we have no idea like
Wait,
how
this is
closely
so
connected
crazy
they are.
because I've been like diving
And
deep into Joe Dispenza, who's this like world renowned neuroscientist, researcher, meditation guy, exactly what you're talking about. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
yeah,
you'll
I
have to
mean,
send it to me.
he does something called coherence healing. And oh my gosh, we're gonna have to talk about it forever.
Yeah, I know. We need to do a separate thing, but what was so crazy is, I had that revelation, and then he's talking about how our implicit memories, which is basically like our subconscious memories and like
Mm-hmm.
how we're triggered essentially, is how we show up in the world and like react to other people and how we shape God. And he made this statement in his book, that I wrote a couple quotes down, but he said, since all of our thoughts feelings, senses, and understandings of God are filtered through our humanity. No one has a completely accurate understanding of deity.
I think that's what I mean when I say,
and
like, we're
he
never going to
basically,
fully understand it until we're fully all in whole with him.
yeah,
Because we're just one piece of a massive puzzle.
Right. And a lot of psychiatrists and therapists talk about like attachment styles, like secure attachments, insecure attachments. And he talks about how we do that with God too. And that's based off of our lived experiences of children and adults.
I cannot believe you're bringing this up because
I'll
just
quickly
talked to my
touch on
mom
this.
about how I'm worried that she has an anxious attachment style to God.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, you need to
my
give her
gosh.
this
Okay,
book
I'm gonna
because
get to it.
he fully
Because I was like, Mom, I just
breaks
think
that
you have
down.
an anxious attachment. Like, because
And-
I was like, you just love him like so. And she's like, I do. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, I think he wants more for you. He wants more freedom for you, which I don't know why I'm saying, like, I'm not trying to speak for him, but I'm gonna.
No, but that is like, he talks about this too, where, you know, your relationship with other human beings who are his creation, that comes into play of how they can see how you're showing up in the world too, which it like you're paying attention to what she's paying attention to. And he makes this statement at the very beginning of the book, and that's where I got like hooked, where he's like, a lot of us want to know who God is, like everything about him, his ins and out, what his character is, even though like subconsciously we're creating a character of who he is off of our own biased lived experience. But he's like, not a lot of us want to be known by him. Like, we won't get vulnerable enough for him to like fully see us, and for ourselves to fully get to know ourselves and like the uncomfortable side of it. And so that like really hooked me. And he has these exercises in there.
It sounds like all of the shadow work
like
that I
where
did
this
when I dove into that like course that I was taking.
Well, yeah, and it could be very similar because he talks about the attachment styles, and he's like, the only people with well, I shouldn't make a bold statement, but basically like not his words, but how I interpreted it was, people with secure attachments are people that fully take the time to sit down and understand and comprehend their life story, every single piece of it, like from start to finish. So he has this exercise where you go decade by decade by decade, and any memory that pops up, you write down exactly how you feel about it, even if it's a bad memory. He's like, you know, write down your feelings, write down your senses, write down the colors you're seeing, like all this stuff, because that is shaping how you show up in the world and how your relationship is with God and your relationship is with yourself and with others. And so I started like really doing that very slowly. I'm still like in the first decade, and I've realized so much about myself, my attachment styles,
Immediately.
things I need to unlearn. And I will. But like, it showed me, which I knew in the back of my mind, like I'm a chronic disassociator. Like I don't like to feel those feelings because that's what I was taught, that they were bad. And he is so wholeheartedly passionate about saying God created emotions for a reason. Like they are very important to our being. They are the way that God communicates with us. And so they're very important, even the ones that you've been told are bad or uncomfortable. So I'm really learning how to, instead of ignoring it, like really, really get into the uncomfortable stuff. So I've been journaling a ton. And he says to do this thing too, where it's like each day you take 3 to 4 minutes in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, and just write exactly how you're feeling. Pay attention to what you're paying attention to.
I've not done it, but I need to do it. I just.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy because I'm like, okay, right now I'm just chilling outside, drinking a cup of coffee. Life feels good. Like, you know, and you're like, what? Why am I doing this? But then you get to the afternoon and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've had the craziest day. I don't feel like
and then your hand is hurting because you're writing so much.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, look back after every 2 weeks and kind of reflect on what you see and what your brain has been paying attention to. Because
This
it
is
shapes
literally, it really does
everything.
sound like that manifestation course that I took, because you're supposed to like look at your past on like a timeline and kind of jump in to different parts of your past, and like heal. It's a lot of inner child work, shadow self, so the parts that you suppress of yourself that you don't think are worthy or good to show. And so I did a ton of that work, but I was just thinking I kind of want to like go back through and start doing some of that work again. Because each time it's not like you do it once and you're healed. Like it's all good. It's a you.
No, it
Every time you
uncovers
go back.
something
And
else.
so that's so fun. Yeah, it's so similar.
But the thing is, like, the memories and the feelings associated to those things, they don't just go away, even if you don't pay attention to them, you know? Like, eventually, if you want to heal and if you want to grow and learn new things, for me, it's been a lot of unlearning,
It's like it's like
surprisingly.
unlearning and rewiring.
Yes, and like really digging deep of, okay, was it a family member that said something like this to me where I believe that this is true? Was it society? Was it the church? And a lot of it is like just bad theology and ideology up from like society and the time that we grew up in, and having to unlearn a lot of that. And it's not been a vacation.
No, it's probably some of the hardest work you've done.
It's not been a breeze. Yeah, it's very hard and grueling work. But like when you look back on those 2 weeks where, you know, you were all over the place with your feelings, and then you've put in the work, and then you see like how you're feeling the next week, it's crazy.
I am going to do this.
Of how you're starting to process all of this stuff. And I will say, like, some people might listen to this and think that it sounds woo-woo, but it's really not. It's so basic.
You're just journaling
it's so
about
simple.
God and
the guy is like,
that's not woo-woo.
Yeah, and your feelings. Yeah, and just who you are and allowing yourself to be known. And that's something that, like, that vulnerability was really hard for me. But, you know, I've learned that since I didn't want to feel vulnerable and be known, I spent a lot of my life like abandoning myself to make other people happy. And so I'm like very extremely grateful to be shown that.
I see a lot of like Christian content creators online and pastors, and they talk about how Jesus calls us to pick up our cross and like carry and bear the cross. And it triggers me, and I was like,
you too?
why? You know, I've been sitting on this for a couple of days, and so I just connected the two. I think it's because I don't think he means our sins, our bad thought, or bad. He's saying, pick up our cross, pick up our vulnerabilities, and carry them to him. Like bring them to him, be with him.
Yeah.
And again, we're like missing the point of it. It's not worthy, terrible people. We have to carry our cross. We have to do all these hard things. Like, I don't think that's what Jesus, I mean, yes, it is hard, but it's not looking back, because he's just saying you have to do the hard work too. And that's not suppressing yourself in order to meet him. It's opening up yourself and allowing him to work.
Yeah. And I think what you're saying about what you're seeing by Christian content creators, I feel like I have a lot of triggers because of like the Southern Baptist Church and their version of theology, which I'll have to work through that. But it's kind of something that this describes as like left brain linear theology, where it's very just like logical. And he has this quote in there that was just so good. I had to write it down. Just talking about the people that went through hardship in the Bible, all the stories and everything. And he said they were transformed by a guy who would not be limited by left brain, logical, linear theology, reconstructed by a God who in the beginning got his hands dirty in the soil of creation and later got them bloodied in the agony and beauty of redemption. And so he talks a lot about how we need to understand our life story, understand where we're at, like be present, allow ourselves to be known by the God who, since the very beginning, that has been his desire for us.
Yeah. I mean, it totally makes, sorry, my voice literally left me. Yeah. But, but yeah, I mean, no. Send me the link.
I'll send you the link. It's very,
Yeah,
and I'll
I
put
want
it
to
in the
read
show
it.
notes too. It's very good. I feel like
I
Evan
think that
would
might
really
not
enjoy it
fix him.
because it's
Like,
that
help with everything. Speak to him.
speak to him. Yeah,
Yeah,
it might
because
speak to him. It might
he's
resonate with him. But he's like, this guy really seems like one of those guys that wants to be the bridge between faith and science. And he has like the research and the experience and the credibility to really back up what he's saying in here. And I mean, it's a great book. It's for anyone,
What's his
really,
name?
like truly. And that's why I like it so much.
What's
like
his name
anyone,
again?
Curt Thompson. I'll send you the link, but it's good. It's good. So yeah, that's what's been going on in my life. The past super low key chill stuff, you know?
Oh, he has a podcast. He sure does. I just
He does? I didn't know that. That's his podcast?
I'm going to go follow him from Evan's
gonna follow.
See if we can slide in the DMs.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely like, he does a lot of stuff with neuroscience. So cool. Oh my gosh, yeah, that is him. I just saw his podcast.
There you go.
Well, this is great. I have a lot to listen to now.
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
maybe he'll come on. No surprise. The only reason I found him was literally like 6 months ago. I was listening to a Tim Mackey podcast. Yeah. Shocker. And they briefly mentioned him at the very end of the show. And I don't even remember what they were talking about, but I just put it in my notes app. I was like, And I bought the book. And then like 6 months later, I had that revelation, you know? And then I was like, oh, I forgot I have that book sitting in my closet waiting for me, just staring at me.
Oh my gosh. So, I love it. That's so crazy like that.
It's so funny.
He just plants seeds, gets you the book that's there. He'll present it when it's ready.
Yeah. And truthfully, that's what it is it's like when you say the teacher shows up when you're ready or something. I've heard you mention something. It's when like the lesson will be there when you're ready and open and aligned to learn it. Yeah.
Well, and that's why I keep telling Evan, I'm like, it will come. It will come. You just got to be open. You got to be prepared. Like, it's going to come. Like your clarity, your purpose, your calling, all of it. So, okay. Well, this was such a good one. I'm excited to kind of dive into our motherhood series. Or is it the month of May that we're going to do this and June? Or just, what do you think?
I think we're just, for now, I think it's just May. We're just going to highlight some awesome moms with some good stories. Yeah, we have some fun guests coming up, all mamas. And so, yeah, that'll be like what our main focus is for May, because I feel like yours and my intention is to just highlight how different motherhood shows up for each of us, and that we can all be honored and celebrated no matter what path we choose.
I'm excited to talk to everybody and just see how we're all doing this differently and how we can, one, support each other as moms, but then two, how we can kind of like encourage people who aren't moms or who are scared of being moms or are first time moms, like, you know, that it's actually really beautiful. It's not this negative, awful thing that you see online all the time. And you can be a really good mom and have a really good relationship with God and have a really good relationship with your husband. Like, all of those things are possible. They can coexist.
Yeah. Yeah. And that there will be hard days, but you'll get through it. We're all struggling a little bit.
The human experience, baby.
Yeah. That's right. Well, I'm sorry my face was gone this whole episode, but that's okay.
Thanks.
I know. Maybe they're calming. We might have needed that.
All right. Well, I am going to go dive into some work since I probably have another, 10 hours worth of stuff to do. I've been working literally like 12 to 13 hours a day.
Girl.
I'm unwell. It's a
You're a rock
temporary
star.
thing. The temporary thing. But it's just really tired. We're gonna hire. It'll be good.
well.
We're in the process. We just lost an account manager,
Yeah.
so kind of been rough. But other than that, we're good. We're just gonna hire. We're gonna hire, and I'm building out some AI systems. We're replacing some of our workflow with AI, and I got to teach a really cool masterclass to my community the other day, and it's all good stuff. It's just kind of a lot right now on top of moving and everything.
Yeah.
I'm really
you guys have a lot
excited
going
for,
on.
like, December.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I mean, maybe
for
January then, I guess, because December's kind of crazy. But I love the holidays, so I think I'm just gonna. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take all of September off. I'm gonna take off part of November since I'll be in Arizona and California. But then I was like, oh, but I kind of want to take off for Christmas too. Should I just take the whole fall off? I think everybody would have a panic attack.
Yes.
But can you imagine if I was like, Alexa, I'm gonna take all of Q3 off and September. Q3, or sorry, all of Q4, all of fall, and the very end of the year. And she'd be like, but I am excited to, like, I'm excited to go, and like we're doing a big garden. I want to redo the chicken coop. Noah really wants to get bees, some honeybees.
Our neighbor just got 8 hives.
Wow.
Those things are living over here between the couple acres between the two of us. I'm like, they were going crazy around the pool the other day, and Ross was like, "What's with all these bees?" I'm like, "They're Stu's bees. They're his children. I don't know.
Are they
just
like in his yard?
Out.
Oh, like next to
he
your
has
stuff?
hives, but like they yeah. Not super close to us. It's on the other side of his few acres, but they like to come hang out over at our house, his children.
Oh my gosh, no. Yeah, no, I was like obsessed. She was watching bee videos on my phone this morning. She's like, she's like, Dad, that's a queen, and these are all her babies. I'm like, girl,
that's right. That's right, Noah girl.
So yeah, I think we're gonna try and get bees. I haven't told my parents that yet. They are not into bees. But if we're gonna have a garden, we might as well get bees. I'm gonna go into my full farm girl era.
Yeah.
Garden.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming to hang out. And
full guest room, and the kids you can bring all the kids. There's room for them. Whatever you want to do. Yeah, that would be so
amazing.
Fun. And
we're
would
gonna
love
make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a farm girl for sure. Tate kind of is a farm boy too, so they would love it. We'll definitely make it happen.
And we could record a podcast when the kids go down. Oh, so excited.
Yeah.
I love it too.
Yes, I love it. Let's do it.
Alrighty, well, I'll talk to you later. I love you. Bye.
All right, love you too.
Thanks for being here with us today. If something resonated, maybe a sentence, a silence, or a story, hold on to that. If you felt seen or stirred or simply curious, we hope you'll join us again. Until then, stay open, stay tender, and remember, there's always a seat for you at the table.